Hi, Miss Tamorian. Welcome to Ceramics 101. So, this is called a bat. Basic sort of information for you. It has two knobs right here that fit into two knobs on the throwing wheel. And you just have to make sure that when you're placing the bat down, that it's in the right grooves or it'll fly off. We have sponges to help with pulls. We have a wedge tool to help with pulls and shaping the clay. A trimming tool for the bottom of the clay. And a wire tool to cut off your piece. And of course, a bucket of water, because you're going to be dipping your hands in the water periodically to make sure there's not enough friction between your hands and the clay. So when you have your clay, first thing you're going to do is form it into a ball. Just taking off my watch here. And when you, there is a foot pedal that you're gonna place your foot on after you turn the wheel on, and you wanna brace your legs on the outside of the wheel to help you have more strength when you're throwing. So what I'm gonna demonstrate right now is coning up the clay and centering at the same time. So coning up the clay is when you squeeze your hands together and slowly bring them up to center the clay. And it's really important when you are centering to make sure you throw it down in the middle. So you'll see when I throw it down. I'm gonna throw it down as close as possible as I can to the middle. Okay, and I noticed that I didn't quite make it in the middle, so I'm just gonna go ahead and scoot it towards the middle and then go from there. Okay, so of course dip your hands in water to begin with, and then the wheel's gonna spin. You're gonna squeeze your hands together and oop, it's coming off. Just throw it back down a little bit harder. I'm gonna go ahead and push down on the clay to begin with to make sure that it is attached to the bat so that you can work with it better. If it's not attached to the bat, you can't work with it. So my hands are touching, notice. That's something that you are gonna be doing all the time when you're working with clay. So it's just about centered. As you can see, my hands are not wobbling when I'm working with it. They're just right there. So I'm gonna demonstrate coning now. So with coning, you're gonna squeeze the clay together. You're gonna have to use some muscle and bring the clay up just a little bit, got a little higher. I'm gonna squeeze from the bottom and then slowly bring my hands up. And it got a little bit taller again. Now what you're gonna do, and the wheel's always spinning. So you keep your foot pedal's right over here on my right leg. I'm right leg dominant. So it's on that side. So then I'm gonna go ahead and push down on the clay with both my hands. And then coning gets rid of air bubbles that are in the clay and helps you center it pretty spot on. So now I'm kind of doing a karate chop. Notice I have one hand on the outside, one on the top, and I'm compressing it down. Now I'm gonna go from the side just to make sure the clay reaches the bottom. You want it to be in a dome shape when you're working with it to begin with. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. now your clay is ready to work with, now that it's been centered and coned up and down to get rid of the air bubbles. So, once again, my hands aren't wobbling, so I know it's centered. Okay? I'll show you what it looks like. Centered. Okay. And again, I'm attaching it to the little knobs. So that's centering and coning.